Hey folks, welcome back to another track guide. My name is Russell, aka Finding Speed on YouTube. We reach the final week of the season and we're at Donington Park, back in my backyard. As always, I'm in the fixed setup. We are running full race fuel and we are running track conditions for the racing this week. Best of luck to you. I hope it goes really well. If you find the guide useful, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And if I don't see you before, hopefully I'll see you out there on the track. Cheers. Okay, here we go with my 124.8 here at Donington Park. We're in the Lambo, we're on the fixed setup, and we've got full race fuel, normal race conditions. And as we come up to turn one, we hit pit exit. Now we can get quite far over to the left in towards the pit entry lane here on entry. Obviously, we want to be watching for traffic. But we can't go too far, otherwise we will get ourselves into trouble with the iRacing police. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start my braking at the pit exit line where the blue cone is. We're going to bring the car down to third. And we're looking to brush as close as we can to this corner by the line. Obviously, bearing in mind there is a bit of grass there. And that's really where we're coming out of the brakes and we're initiating our turn in. We want to get tight on apex here, but what we don't really want to do is cross over the edge of the inside lip here. You're not going to get a 1x, but you are going to upset the car quite a lot. It's quite a big step there. Very, very easy to run out of track on exit here. Got to be careful. And then we're going to bring the car in nice and tight on the inside, and we want to make sure we're nicely positioned on the right hand side of the track here. We've got a full throttle left. You just got to be careful because you want to be able to keep the car over to the left, and basically where the track kinks just ahead here is where we're going to drop the car into fourth, do some braking, and we're looking ahead on the outside of the track for the curbing. And we want to be really nice and tight to this inside curb. And you'll notice that I'm already up to about 50% accelerator here. An early getaway is absolutely key here. So if you're not able to get yourself on the gas on entry to this corner, then you need to move your braking back to make that happen. You're going to lose too much speed. Doesn't matter how much speed you carry into this. If you're not carrying it out, then you're going to have problems here this week. So we're now bringing the car tight in on the next apex, and we're letting the car float out wide. We're full throttle on entry here, but we want to make sure we get a wide entry so we can get the car nice and straight to set up the next corners. So we're cutting off the curb here. And just as we're ending the curbing, that's my signal to brake down to third. We've got a really tricky right-hander here, and it's tricky mainly because you can't really see the apex on entry. So we're now turning in, and what we're ultimately looking to do is to pick up the curb on the second half. So we're aiming to actually apex round nice and tight here. And then we're going to keep the car on the left-hand side. And we've got a fast right. And I tend to start my braking around about here. We're down to third. We're not braking particularly heavily. We're going uphill as well, so that's going to decelerate the car. And again, we're turning onto a blind apex. And this is just going to take repetition, some practice to get the timing right here. And then we're back into the accelerator, but we're building up slowly there. We had a little pause just to let the car catch some grip. Otherwise, it's very easy to run out of exit here and take the grass. So we bring the car over quite quickly over to the right-hand side. And we're looking at the second board here. And there's a dip in the track. And as the car goes down the dip, we're going to start our braking down to third. And we've got to be brave here, ultimately. We need to be brave / stupid to carry as much speed through the chicane as we possibly can. And it's quite permissive with how much curb you can take and how much beyond the curb you can take. But you've got to get the angle right, otherwise you'll find yourself with off tracks and slowdowns. So we're down to third. We come out of the brake very quickly. And we've started our turn in. And we're already back into the gas. Now, I came out of the gas a little bit as I went over to that second curb. That's wise, just to maintain some strong traction. And now we're looking down the hill, and we're looking for this second set of tyre marks just after the brow of the hill. And that's our signal to brake heavy. And gun down through the gears. We're going to come all the way down to first. And we need to watch our braking here because we are braking downhill. So it's going to be a longer braking zone than you anticipate. It's very easy to overshoot this one. So heavily down on the brakes. And we're into first. And just about to drop out of the brake entirely right on the apex. And that's really going to promote the car to rotate really well. And then we're building up the gas very steadily on exit. And we're moving the car over to the right for the final corner. And we want to use this curb on the right. And just kind of part way along the curb, we're going to start our braking. We're going to come right down through the gears, but we're not going to go straight down to first. If we go to first too quickly here, we're going to spin up the rears and we're ultimately going to spin the car. So we just need to be a little bit delicate. We go over a brow, the car gets a bit light, so we need to go easy on the initial steering. So we're going to bring it in slightly to the left. We straighten up a little bit there and just let the car catch itself. Then we come down to first. And then we really want to fling it round. And the idea with this corner, and this is easily the hardest corner on the track, is that we want to be really tight to the second half of this curb to be able to really open up the exit so we can get our foot down quicker and harder without having to use too much steering angle. So we're coming out, we're really unwinding the wheel before we hit 100% gas. And that's important there. And that concludes our 1 minute 24.8 here at Donington Park. I've really enjoyed doing these track guides this season. I hope you've liked them. I hope they've been useful for you. Please do give it a like. Please do subscribe. Let us know in the comments below how you're getting on, how you found the season. I will be back next season with more of these guides. And I hope to see you then. Thanks, folks. Have a good one.